Give me a pillow.
Wait, we can't. You gotta put it up because I can't breathe. Yeah.
Baby.
Can't breathe. Hold on a minute. I gotta change shirts.
I feel like I should have had makeup on or something. My
can't
skin
breathe.
don't look flawless. Please.
I ain't going to
Everybody trying to play with your heart. See you down, try to tear you apart. They see you up, put the aim at your head. But when you make it, steady begging for
What up,
bread.
YouTube? Oh, let me show you guys Mimi. This is Mimi. Mimi girl. You're so cute. What's up, YouTube? It's your girl TT. And it's your girl Lola. And we're back with another video.
We got two surprise guests, you know what I'm
Our
saying?
mama. And Jamel, that's her boyfriend.
Hello, YouTube.
He's a cowboy.
We're here.
So today we are gonna do a relationship advice. I don't know what we're gonna call this video. I don't know. We'll call it something good. But that's basically what it is. It's relationship advice to the young people, something that they would want to tell their younger selves.
And
to
we
us.
have 15 questions to ask them for them to answer.
Uh-huh. And we'll put our little input in, but we aren't that experienced, so we probably won't have much input.
So let's get started. The first question is, how should you start a relationship?
How should you start a relationship, baby? Go ahead and answer first. I say how you should start a relationship first. I say that you should
Communication
from the get-go.
from the start.
Don't
So you guys shouldn't be friends first, or
well, you know what? Friends is a solid foundation in a relationship. You must be able to be friends first. Don't rush, but let it start off naturally. Like, don't force anything.
Mm-hmm.
You never want to force it. Some people move faster than others, but let that be whatever works for your relationship. That's what I think.
How about you, Jamal?
And another thing is also too, when you're building the relationship from the beginning, a lot of people are going to have their opinions and rumors and stuff, especially being younger. If you're in school or whatever, you know, you gotta just kind of take their opinions with a grain of salt.
That's right.
Question 2. Should a woman approach a man?
Should a woman approach a man?
Ooh, this is a good one.
Okay, so I'm going to answer this one first, and then we'll get the male perspective over here. I have never, ever, ever, in my younger days, or even now, approached a man.
Point blank, period.
So, what I'll do is I'll leave the door open. Like, if maybe we have eye contact, I'll maybe smile or something like that, or say hi or something, you know, something to let him know that I'm open for him to approach me if he would like to. But me personally, and I'm not saying it's wrong for anybody that wants to do it, but personally, I never approach a man. He has to show me that he wants me.
I think it's a man's job for them to approach the woman.
Do you guys hear that?
Man's job is to approach a woman. Now, a woman may show interest, but it's the man's job to feed into that interest, no matter what it is.
You heard, men, guys, boys, whatever. You heard? Okay.
The generations have changed.
Yeah, but I don't know. I am from this generation, and I'm just too shy to go up to a guy and be like, "Hey, want to go out with me?"
Yeah, I never approached.
I was always shy too, but that wasn't like the main reason why I wouldn't. I just felt like naturally that's how it should be.
Number 3. Okay, how do you feel about love at first sight?
Maybe I'll let you answer this one first this time.
It's a little deep. Well, love at first sight, huh? You see, I get nervous and I start scratching my face and stuff. I believe in it. That's for sure. It can happen. That's what I have to say about it.
Well, I really do not believe in love at first sight. I believe in lust at first sight. But I don't believe in love at first sight. Because you can't fall in love with someone just by looking at their physical appearance. A person, an individual, is deeper than their physical appearance. You can look at a person, hence, I have many experiences, and they're just so beautiful on the outside. Once you get to know that person, they a hot mess on the inside. So I really don't believe in love at first sight.
Well, we're going to have to agree to disagree.
Question number 4. What is one thing you would tell your younger self while being in your first relationship?
One thing that I would tell my younger self while being in my first relationship, so I'm thinking back to
first real relationship.
So I'm thinking back to my first real relationship.
First real relationship.
What would I tell myself? That's hard. I don't know, because like my first real relationship, I don't know, I was in high school and it wasn't a bad relationship at all. I mean, I will say that my parents, mostly I guess my dad and his father as well, kind of wanted to shake things up in the relationship and really didn't. They thought that we were maybe moving too fast, and they kind of influenced the breakup of the relationship. But I don't know. I mean, I was young, so I really don't know what to tell my first self. I don't know. What about you, baby?
Listen. Listen.
Yeah.
Listen.
Listen to who?
Folks that's been to it and through it already.
That's good
I
advice.
tell you that. You know, hey, boy, you better leave that girl alone. No.
Yeah.
Number 5.
Oh.
Number 5. How much should you sacrifice in a relationship and why?
Can you really put a number on that, or
You
a
can't
percentage?
really put a percentage on it, but if a good relationship is on point, you both agree on things. Obviously, you're not going to agree on everything, but if you agree on things, I think it should be 50-50. I mean, it depends on the situation, because relationship is give and take.
Mm-hmm. So a relationship in itself is sacrifice. Nobody is the same. Everybody's different. So there's things that you are going to sacrifice because that's part of what compromise is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every relationship has compromise. So we can't really put a number, or at least I know I can't really put a number or percentage on how much you should sacrifice, but you should be willing to sacrifice, because otherwise the relationship's not going to work.
So number 6. What is the difference between a relationship and dating?
I would say that dating is more of. I would say dating is more of a getting to build the relationship. That's the start, because dating is, a lot of people say dating is different things, but in my view of dating, it's you're taking her out, getting to know her. You guys are trying to get to know each other.
Yeah.
And that's building to the relationship. The dating part is building to the relationship.
Okay. For me, I guess I wasn't confused, because I was like, Mom, did you understand? I wasn't confused. I guess to me, a relationship, there's every relationship you have with somebody is a relationship. So to me, dating is a relationship. It's just a more serious relationship. It gets more serious than you introducing yourself to each other. You're building a relationship through dating, but even when you become one with each other and you're, like, I'm going to be with this one person, that's still a relationship. Once you get married, that's still a relationship. So they're all relationships. It's just there's different phases to a relationship. So I guess I looked at it different. I don't know if the question was meant to be. He probably understood it the way it should have been answered.
I don't know. It's just a question.
I think I answered the way it's supposed to be answered.
Yeah, it's like,
You know.
is dating like being in a serious relationship, or is dating just like the beginning?
Oh, dating is the beginning.
Yeah,
That's what you
I'm
said, right,
saying.
baby?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
dating
you're
is
not,
the
so you're in a relationship, but you're still allowed to keep your doors open, is basically.
When you're just dating, that's what you're doing. You're just dating. It does not mean that you have to stop seeing everybody else. Dating is just dating. You're getting to know each other.
Until you guys become boyfriend
Until
and
you
girlfriend.
have that conversation and you decide, okay, we are going to be, it's just exclusive to one another. and we're not seeing anyone else. We are an actual, what do you call it after dating?
Couple.
We're a couple. Yeah, we're.
And the thing
You are
about
my
it is you
significant
have to communicate that with one another, because if you don't, then it's just going to be a hot mess.
Yeah. Don't just assume that you're already in an exclusive relationship with a guy, or vice versa. Ask, have the conversation, and say, what are we defining this relation? Define the relationship. That's what I was looking for. Are we still just dating? Are we going to be just friends? Are we now exclusive to one another?
Number 7. Number 7. Okay, number 7. Are you allowed to have a best friend of the opposite sex while being in a relationship? That's a good question. Oh my gosh, that's a good question.
I will tell you the truth that in my previous relationships, that did not work out.
I feel like your best friend should be the person you're with.
Your best friend should be the person that you're with.
Yeah.
And then another thing is, for a strong relationship, is if you have friends, the friends should have a couple friends as well. Or if you do have some friends that are single, I think it's better to kind of be careful when you're with the single person and you guys go out and do different things, because then next thing you know, if you have a good relationship at home and you go out with somebody that's single, of your friends or whatever, and then they're looking for somebody, it can destroy a relationship.
I totally agree. Absolutely. There cannot be best friends of the opposite sex. That is just not going to ride. Some people, it might work for them, but it definitely would not work for me, because it just will not. That's a no-no. So I'm so glad that he's already on that page and he learned his lesson from his previous relationship, because I don't play that.
She don't play.
That's
First
a
time I heard
no-no.
this YouTube, I'm still living.
Period.
What you mean?
No, I'm
First
just
time?
joking. I'm just playing. From you.
Oh, because you already know how I roll.
Next question. Number 8. Should anyone get into a relationship insecure about themselves?
Nope. You have to be secure in yourself in a relationship, because otherwise it is going to be, not saying that it's not going to last, because it can, but you're going to be arguing a lot. If you're insecure within yourself, you're going to be insecure in that relationship, because what's going to happen is you're always going to think that person is looking at someone else, or they want to be in a relationship with someone else. When they leave, I don't care if they go to the mailbox, you're going to be so worried and concerned. You can't even go to the beach probably and enjoy the beach together, because you're worried about if that person's looking at someone else. So if you're insecure within yourself, you're never going to really be in a happy relationship. You're going to be unhappy, in which it's going to cause the other person to be unhappy. So no. What do you think, baby?
I think I have to piggyback off of what you said, but also though, you could get into a relationship if the other person is stronger, to help the other person with their insecurities, because everybody's got some kind of how you want to say it, some insecurities with them about themselves. So if you get with the person that it's that is good for you, then that person can help you with the insecurities.
Balance each other out.
And you balance each other's out. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Balance is the key.
Number 9.
Should you go into a relationship thinking of marriage at the very beginning?
No. Well, it depends on the age. It depends on the age group. I wouldn't say that you are supposed to start talking about marriage right away, but from your age, you guys are teenagers. Like, no, do not go into the relationship just like, oh my gosh, marriage.
Okay, how about
But
20 to like 30?
When you're older, as you get older, you're gonna want to think about that. You're gonna at least want to have a conversation eventually, not right away, just to make sure you're on the same page, because you have some people that don't believe in marriage at all. And you have some people that absolutely believe in marriage, and they're like, I'm not shacking up, I'm not, I gotta marry whoever it is that I'm with, or it's not gonna work. So you wanna at least make sure that you guys are both on the same page. You don't wanna rush or push anybody into wanting to get married too soon, because then that can scare the other person away. But you wanna at least have that conversation and knowing whether or not marriage is even an option.
And once again, it's all about communication as well, too. But you also do not want to allow other people to push you to be somewhere that you do not want to be,
That's
or
right.
that you're not comfortable to be in.
That's right.
You know, so you definitely got to watch out for that, whether it be, like you said, parents or whatever, you know, religion, whatever.
Question number 10. Are breakups normal in a relationship?
Yeah.
So you think like separations, you shouldn't stay together throughout the whole thing, separations are normal?
Wait a minute. Are you seeing like different relationships, or if you're with somebody and you
You're
keep
with
break
some-
up and
yeah.
you back up? No, that's not healthy. That's not good. If you're with one person and you guys are constantly breaking up and getting back together, breaking up and getting back together, oh no, negative. No, that's not healthy. That's not good. That means that something is wrong, and it's going to always be something wrong.
I agree.
I agree
I don't think
too.
that's I don't think that's healthy because, I mean, no, it's just not. There's no need for me to elaborate. You did well, baby, to explain. It's not good.
So you agree? Same thing?
Yeah, if you're breaking up over and over again, that's
Yeah, I mean,
like,
it just means that the relationship is just
That's too much drama.
It's too much drama. You're just constantly going back and forth with each other, and that's just not good.
I don't know why she's being bad right now. This
Mimi
dog
is
is being
bad.
really bad.
Oh my gosh, the cat.
She over here
Like,
tearing up
it's-
trying to tear up my
I don't know
boots
what's
and
wrong with
everything.
her right now.
She bad.
Oh,
It's because we're not giving her attention right now, but it's okay.
But she blamed her uncle.
Number 11. What do you define as cheating?
Cheating? Ooh, what do you define as cheating, baby? Look, he over there
I
mumbling in the
I
background.
feel like
Timothy's over there mumbling in the
Looking at
background.
other people. Ooh, still cheating.
Well, looking at other people is not cheating,
Okay.
depending on how it can be disrespectful.
Yeah.
But that's not cheating. Looking at somebody else is not cheating. It's disrespectful. Cheating? I mean, if you get the groping and kissing on somebody, to me, that's cheating.
yeah.
That's cheating
And it-
on a lower level, but because there's different levels of cheating
How
that
about
are
flirting?
worse than
Flirting
others.
with somebody else?
Flirting
That's
is
cheat-
disrespectful.
that's
It's
like
not.
cheating.
It's
Oh.
not cheating. It's
I
disrespectful.
thought that was.
Yeah, I would have said it.
Oh,
You know,
You're cheating
okay,
on me.
so the dog, you see the
Stop.
the dog over here trying to tear me up.
What do you think, baby?
So listen, I think personally that cheating could be any form. You know, cheating could be even if you're with. Okay, I'm just gonna speak from experience. Cheating can also be having a friend of the opposite, and you end up having an emotional relationship.
Yeah, like getting people's DMs.
Getting people's.
Yeah, like on Messenger. You know how people be on Facebook getting somebody's DM in their Messenger and they having a relationship. They're communicating. They get an emotional bond or talking.
Well,
on the
yeah,
phone.
they're going back and forth, and then
Texting.
you start developing that emotional relationship with somebody.
That is a form of
But
cheating.
that is no, it is. I think it is, and it allows you. Listen, anything that's going to prevent you from having full focus on the person that you're with could be is a form of cheating, no matter what. I
But
mean,
what
it
about
could be
flirting?
Flirting. Now, with another thing is that I'm just a natural. I'm natural. I just flirt, and I don't even know that I flirt.
My
He-
mom's
he
very
ain't never
flirtatious
listened.
too.
And it's so.
He ain't never flirted with nobody in front of me.
No, and that's what I'm saying. That's where I'm getting ready to say that. Because my past relationship, I used to do it like all the time. Now I catch myself because I know that is an issue that I have. And so I do that. But then again, hey.
You know what he got.
Oh,
Yes. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, no, but that is just it. You know, the
I'm
thing
not
with
flirting. I don't know
okay.
what she's talking about. Baby, I ain't never flirted.
Mom's a
Have I
natural
ever?
flirt.
Oh yeah, you flirt all the time.
She's a
With
natural
you,
flirt.
not with nobody else.
No, you flirt, baby.
You flirt and you don't even
Tell
know
the
that
truth,
she's
shame the
flirting.
devil.
Okay, I'm
She's
ashamed of the
personality.
devil. You don't flirt.
See, he knows I ain't never flirted.
Since when did mom flirt?
Mimi.
Mom's just very
Listen,
flirtatious.
okay, listen. What she's talking about, guys,
She's
is back in my
flirtatious.
younger day, or if I'm not in a relationship, I may flirt a little in a classy-like way. You know, maybe with a certain kind of smile or a conversation or something like that. But when I'm in a relationship, I'm not disrespectful. My baby, I don't know why he trying to. He just told the truth and shamed the devil.
I'm
I don't
messing
flirt.
around with you too.
I
She
don't
don't
flirt.
flirt. She don't flirt, and I don't flirt.
We don't disrespect each other.
You know, that's just a lesson learned. We both were in long relationships, and hey, listen. The thing about relationships, the thing about life, period, whether it be it's relationships, since this is the topic of relationships, now y'all done got me going.
All right.
So listen, the thing about relationships, whether it be with your significant other, whether it be with your brother, whether it be with your sister, everything, relationship is work. And if you do not put work into the relationship, it won't work. No matter what the situation is. It could be your mama, your daddy, your girlfriend, your dog, your cat. Look, the dog ain't getting attention right now. Hey, I want something. I'm about to get some pants with holes in them right now because we not paying attention to the dog. So even the dog understands that
She's like, what are you talking about?
relationships is work, guys. Period. That is just what it is. And if you got one person that's working harder than the other, then the relationship is going to have, it's going to be, as my baby say, messy.
Yeah, nobody wants mess.
50-50. Give and take. Okay. Your question 12.
Oh, 12.
Yeah.
Number 12. Do you do you think opposites attract in relationships, personality-wise, or being similar?
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Go ahead,
absolutely. Opposites attract because we are complete opposites.
Mm-hmm.
I can be I'm very quiet and I'm very shy. Don't get me wrong, I like to have fun, but I can be an introvert. I like to be at home. I like to just have peace and quiet and just chill, okay? Him, on the other hand, he's a social butterfly. So he knows everybody. We can't go nowhere. I don't care where it's at. I think we were even in California. He's not even from California. And he knew somebody. So everywhere we go, he knows people. He likes to get in, have groups of people and socialize and interact with each other, which is fun because we balance each other out a little bit. I kind of slow him down, but then he also gets me outside of my box and I'm able to socialize and have fun with other people. So we balance each other out. But opposites, I know for sure with us, we're opposites. But it works.
It does work, and we do balance each other out. Like, hey, I ain't big on reading. I got a book.
He has a book.
I got a book. I ain't read it yet, but I got a book.
Lies!
He joins me at Barnes & Noble from time to time.
Lies!
But anyway, so yes, opposites do attract. And as a matter of fact, I think when you have opposites that do attract, it's better for the relationship.
Makes it interesting. He keeps me on my toes and I keep him on his toes.
Mm-hmm. Y'all pray for me.
Question 13. 13.
The big 1, 3.
Okay, let's say you and your significant other is having a bad day and getting on each other's nerves. What can you do to avoid an argument?
Well, we don't argue. So,
No, we don't.
I mean, what we called an argument wasn't even really an argument. But when he gets on my nerves, I tell him, you are getting on my nerves, but he don't really care. So
When she tells me I get on her nerves, I just keep getting on her nerves.
he'll back off eventually. Once he sees, he knows how to follow my facial expressions and my body language and things like that. So he will leave me alone eventually. But I don't know how to answer that question. Do I get on your nerves, baby?
Mm-mm. Not at all.
I think he's just being smart right now. I think that's what he's doing. I'm sure at some point I've gotten on his nerves, but I know when he gets on mine because he really can be irritating at times. I don't know. I just have to do it. I don't know.
Once again, guys, in all seriousness, communication is the biggest thing.
I'll tell him.
I mean, she does. She'll tell me, you getting on my nerves. I say, I am. I just go try to find the other nerve to get on. And then when she get on my nerves, I just keep on getting on her nerves.
So just ride till I can't no
more.
I forgot the words. I forgot the words to it.
So I mean, with communication,
Communication is the key to relationships.
Pick up on the cues, learn how to read each other. That's part of a relationship.
The thing about it is when you're sorry for cutting you off, but listen, the thing about it is the point of all of this. If y'all don't get nothing else, the thing is that when you're into someone and you're paying attention to someone and you guys have a good relationship, you've got good communication skills and everything, you're gonna know when the opposite, when your significant other is upset about something or something's not right, or whatever, just by just looking at them, or even just walking in, the vibe, the room, and all that kind of stuff. But once again, you know, it's all about learning and communication.
Yeah, you'll know when it's time to be serious, because he's a prankster and a jokester all the time. So, but I'm sure, like, if I'm upset, I'm sure there has been times where I was upset. He gets serious. So when he's getting on my nerves, I just.
He was upset today, and I just laughed at him.
Yeah.
But it made her laugh.
Yeah, because I was ready to cry, but I laughed.
So it's
But
a
I
simple
think
thing.
we're supposed to be talking about getting on each other's nerves.
Yeah.
Sorry,
I kind of went to it's okay.
Sorry.
Okay. Question.
relationship goals.
Woo woo.
Question 14.
Okay.
When you were younger, what was something you wanted to ask your parents but couldn't?
About relationships?
Relationship wise, yes.
What was something that I wanted to ask my parents but couldn't?
You felt like you couldn't tell them because they were your parent, or ask them.
I don't think I really talked to. I didn't ask anything.
That's why I said.
I can't think of anything that I would have wanted to. I really can't. Can you, baby?
No, because I mean, we were just, you know, the house I grew up in, it was more of just a.
Oh, so you guys were open to these people?
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was open. I mean, it wasn't, you know, even though it was rough growing up, but it was just, you know.
I wasn't. In my dad's book, I wasn't allowed to date. So he was working all the time.
So
So
what is something you would want to ask grandma?
what is there? What is? I really don't know that. You have stumped me on that question because I really don't know.
Maybe the next video we make,
Yeah, we'll
or
have
next
a part
video we
2.
do, maybe we'll have something
If you
on
guys
that.
want one.
Because I mean, I don't know. I you know, just
I kind of just went with the flow and just learned as I went.
Last question, guys.
Whoop,
Question 15.
Whoop, whoop.
Would you compromise your happiness for the success of the relationship?
ooh,
Ooh, that's a good question.
Ooh.
Listen.
Junior asked that question.
ooh.
Would you compromise your happiness for the sake of the relationship? No, because that is the relationship. Your happiness, both of your happiness, is what's going to help that relationship to be a strong relationship. So no, there's no need to make both yourself and the other person suffer by not being happy. How can you be? I mean, I know people do it. Don't get me wrong. I know people do it. You know, I ain't going to even go there. But yeah, people can be unhappy and sacrifice that. But man, you're going to be miserable your entire life. You know, when you get with someone and you decide that you want to marry, if marriage is where you guys are going with it, really it's supposed to be till death do you part. So who wants to spend their entire life unhappy just to say I have 20 years with this person, but I'm unhappy? Who wants to do that? I don't want to do that.
Not me.
What about you?
And the thing about it is, though, if you really love your person, you'll want to make sure that that person is happy, no matter what, you know. And no, it's not going to be always. It's not going to be
Peaches and cream.
peaches and cream. Girl, don't make me start singing. But anyways, it ain't gonna be flowers and all that kind of stuff all the time. And you know what? I heard somebody say about relationships and loving someone that are you always going to be in love? Your whole relationship for years. You can talk to people that have been married for 58 years, 60 years, whatever. You fall in and out of it. Love is hey, now. I see you getting me a little sideways here.
Baby, finish your thought.
But the thing is that I heard an old man tell me. He says you have, and it made perfect sense. I got it now that I brought it up. You two, now I don't know what it is. We'll be here all night. We'll come back to this question.
Okay, so that question, I answered it, but I'm sorry, I have to kind of comment on what he said. I feel like in a relationship, I'm not gonna say marriage, in a relationship, an exclusive relationship, I don't know about the falling in and out of love part, because we both have, we said this earlier, that we've both been in relationships previously, and we've been in long-term relationships, we've been in marriages. And even when you hit those rough times,
It's the type
I
of
never
love.
felt out of love.
It's the type of love.
To me, when you fall out of love, it's like
You're done.
done.
It's the type of love.
Even through the rough times, when you're in love no matter what.
Mhm.
You might not, maybe you can't stand that person at the moment, but you still are in love with them. To me, once the in love part leaves, for me, it goes, at that point, it's, you're done. Even if you're still in the relationship, you're done already. But everybody's different, so maybe I hope you don't ever fall out of love with me.
Well, I'm never fall out of love with you, but I'm saying I think more what I'm saying is I think damn, I done dug myself a hole now, and I didn't mean to, but I'm about to dig I'm gonna need a tractor to get up out of this one. Shoo, I've been sweating. But anyway, so I think once again we're gonna go back to communication. And I didn't even forget what the question was. I got myself so
Well,
deep.
the question was about
Yeah.
sacrificing your happiness, but then you mentioned
Yeah,
about
love, and
falling out of love.
It just opened up a whole can of worms.
So
Them worms running.
they running.
Yeah,
Y'all,
Like I
I
said,
wanna
he's
run.
sweating.
I
He's
wanna
sweating.
run with the worms right now. I ain't gonna lie, girl. Let me tell you. But no, seriously though, you do not ever, no matter what. Listen, at the end of the day, your happiness is what counts. No matter what, because you can't. I'm the type of person that I can be so upset, I can have the world is crashing down on me, but what makes me happy is make somebody else smile, no matter what. So if you have issues going on, talk about it. Okay?
What are you guys laughing at?
So here watching me make myself out of this hole.
We don't even know what they're laughing at, bro.
One eternity later.
They just started.
But this is what I'm
busting up
talking about. Something like this. She's over here laughing at me. Y'all, YouTube,
He
I'm
looked
telling
at
y'all.
me.
Seriously,
I can't help
communication.
you. Look, you said, help.
Oh my god.
Y'all, relationship goals.
The summary of all of this, what we just talked about.
Oh my god.
Communication.
She went like 3 hours.
And relationships are work. No matter what. Relationships is work. No matter what the relationship is. Like I said, could be aunt, uncle, mom, daddy, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever the heck it is. It's work. Come on,
She buzzed
TC.
up.
Let's hear about you.
What's your
What's
summary
the- what's your
from
summary,
a
baby?
female's point of view?
So my summary is sometimes I don't know what to say. Like he said it very well. Relationship is work, and it takes communication. Don't ever let yourself fall into a hole where you are unhappy in a relationship without communicating what's causing you to be unhappy to that other person. Because there are probably many relationships that have crashed, died, and went away that probably could have been prevented and saved if the people would have communicated with each other what was going through their mind. But with that being said, if you communicate, you also need to know how to listen. So the communication could be there. You could be talking, but not really listening or at least respecting that other person's feelings about a certain situation. So yes, you need to communicate and respect each other's feelings and their likes and dislikes. Learn each other. Relationship takes compromise, making the best of it, and loving each other for who you are, not trying to change a person. You never want to change a person, because really when you get with that individual, you're getting with them. That's what attracted you to that individual. None of us are perfect, so there's going to be always things that irritate you, things that, you know, get on your nerves about the other person. But just remember that a relationship, opposites attract. We balance each other out. We don't want to change the person. If you want to change the person, you're probably better off just moving on and finding someone that's more compatible for you. And let that person go find somebody that loves them for who they are.
Don't settle.
Don't settle. That's a good one.
Don't settle. Go with your gut, and also Pay attention to the red flags.
That's right. Red flags can be deal breakers. Not always, but definitely address them. Because if you see a red flag, if you address it, sometimes it's fixable by communicating.
And women,
But
we're
if
not
it's
talking
not-
about, and we're not talking, women, we're not talking about he left the toilet seat up either. We're not that type of red flag.
That's not a red flag.
That's not a red flag.
That's just something that gets on your nerves.
Explain to them what a red flag is, because they might not know.
Yeah, something.
Okay, so a red. Maybe did you want to answer? One red flag from a, I don't know, it could be from a woman or a male's perspective, but the first thing that came up to my mind is jealousy. If it's if the person is extremely jealous or controlling, that's a red flag. And sometimes, like I said, with communication, it can be something that can be fixed, and you know what I mean. You don't have to worry about it ever again. Doesn't mean that you have to throw the relationship aside. I think it depends on the level of that jealousy and the level of that control. Controlling is just never okay.
And if you don't like, if
Everybody has a certain level of jealousy.
if they don't like the family of their
Oh,
significant
yeah.
other,
Oh, that's another thing. That
That's
is
a
a red
huge
flag.
red
If the
flag.
person does not get along well with your family, or they can't accept your family, because your family is a part of you. Don't get me wrong. Now, when you do get married to someone, or when you do, form a relationship with someone, you guys are a team. But the other person has to be willing to accept your family, because your family is a part of you. You should never have to choose your family or that person. That person shouldn't even want to put you in a position where you have to choose one or the other. Just the same way as your family shouldn't put you in a position to have to choose your significant other or them.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody not supporting you in your dreams.
Oh, yeah.
That's a red
That's a big
flag.
one.
Because you have dreams. Everybody has dreams, but part of a relationship is you don't want to hold another person back from pursuing their dreams. You want to be their supporter, because if you're a team, you're going to be a power couple, you have to push each other.
Mm-hmm.
And watching that person grow, you should never get jealous or feel insecure that if they grow, oh my gosh, what if they leave me? Well, that's where those insecurities that you were talking about earlier come in. So somebody that holds you back from your dreams, that's a red flag. Yeah, that's a red flag.
We'll get more into this kind of stuff in the second video.
oh, there's gonna be a part 2.
Yeah, this is gonna be consistent. We're gonna have real talk. It's gonna be
Real
called Real
talk.
Talk. That's what it's gonna be called.
With different topics.
Real talk.
Yeah, with different topics. This one is relationship advice, though. Who looks more like mom? Ugh! Comment down below.
Well, that's the end of the video, of course, y'all. So these are the 2 guests that we
And we
told you
thank
guys
them.
about.
Thank you guys. You too.
So we're gonna have you guys thumbs up, hit the bell, subscribe. You already know what it is.
And we out.
She messed it up.
Bye, you two.
You are so
You
bad.
said you already know. So I said you already know, and then you said what it is.
You're ruining the lighting.
You already know what it is.
You already know what it is. We out.
We out.
I need someone to press the button.
You could have did that
Fuck
with
the
your
team, get it all on my own. Solo dolo, gotta get it alone. I'm in my zone, trying to give me a meal. Mercedes Benz off the 23 rims. Double cup, can't sip on no lean. You say you